All right, the moment of truth. Distinctively McDonald's. Only McDonald's can do this type of burger. So delicious product. You know, you've got sort of the cheeses and the gouda.
I genuinely believe that CEOs from most companies are some of the most out of touch individuals out there. Because let's be honest, most of these CEOs from all of these major corporations like Apple, Walmart, McDonald's, like we're going to talk about in a moment, those are just a few that I can think of from the top of my head. A lot of these people have in common is they don't give a shit about the consumer. All they care about is money. They're like Mr. Krabs, dude. All they have is dollar signs in their eyes, and they don't care about the consumer. Sure, maybe they might dabble in their product. Maybe they might dabble into their product that they've created, right, every now and then. But like, dude, for the most part, these CEOs, like if it's like a restaurant, for example, like, and I'll use McDonald's as an example because that's really what I wanted to make the main point of this video about. Like, dude, the CEO of McDonald's clearly doesn't eat his food. Like, I really hate how he like plays this persona of like, yeah, I love McDonald's. Well, this is the reason why I'm the CEO of McDonald's. Not because of money, not because it makes me a shit ton of money. No. Because I love McDonald's. I love eating it. It's such a good, like their burgers are some of the best burgers I've ever eaten. I would never eat anywhere else, only in McDonald's, right? And it's like, you're not fooling anybody, dude. You're a multi-millionaire. I actually Googled how much he makes, over $20 million a year. This motherfucker is not eating McDonald's every day. You are not fooling anybody. Like, dude, you literally have enough money to hire a personal chef and order and like have him cook lobster for you every single day if you wanted to, for probably like the rest of your life. That's how much money you have. Stop trying to pretend like you eat McDonald's every day, okay? I'm sure you eat at much nicer places than McDonald's. You ain't fooling anybody, bro. But anyway, let's look at the CEO of McDonald's consuming the new Arch Burger, because it's that I think you've seen it already, but I'm just gonna refresh your memory. The video's gone super mega viral for a lot of reasons, honestly. I mean, this motherfucker's just nibbling on that burger without really much thought or care in this world. Just go ahead, take a look at the video.
A delicious Big Arch sauce, and of course some lettuce. So, there's so much going on with this. First of all, let's try to get this thing, I don't even know how to attack it. Got so much to it. Oh, there's also some crispy onions on here as well. I see those kind of coming out. All right, the moment of truth. That is so good. That's a big bite for a big arch.
Yeah, does that look like someone who really enjoys a burger? Or is that someone who's just interested in selling a product? In fact, I think, if I remember correctly, in the video, he calls it a product. He doesn't even call it a burger. He calls it a product. That just goes to show how he literally sees us as a fucking consumer. That is all he sees us as. He doesn't fucking care. He doesn't care about his customers. All he cares about is money, okay? Like, you ain't fooling anybody, dude.
Question recently came in on my Instagram. How often do I eat at McDonald's? I would tell you it's a lot. Probably 3 or 4 times a week. Sometimes it might be a breakfast. Sometimes it might be a lunch. But hey, one of the perks of the job, you get to eat at McDonald's a lot.
Dude, you do not eat McDonald's 3 to 4 times a week. No, that is not one of the perks of eating at McDonald's. That's not one of the perks of being the CEO of McDonald's. The perk of being the CEO of McDonald's is the fact that you are multimillionaire rich and you are extremely fucking wealthy. That is the perk of being the CEO of McDonald's, not the fact that you get to eat there every day. Okay, imagine I had a nice Wagyu steak, right? A nice Japanese Wagyu steak, and I had a McDonald's burger next to it. Which one would you choose? 9 out of 10 people are going to choose the Wagyu steak because it tastes better. It's juicier, it's more tender. Fucking McDonald's burger is fucking mystery meat. You ain't eating that shit. We know you ain't eating that shit. We know you ain't eating that mystery meat burger looking at burger, dude. We know you ain't eating that shit. I'm going to draw your attention to the McDonald's movie. I think it's called like The Founder or whatever. It's like a docudrama basically showcasing how McDonald's was created to be. I remember in the beginning of the movie, one of like the main founders of McDonald's who helped like franchise the company, he went to go order a McDonald's burger and the guy was extremely happy to serve him. You want to know why that guy was probably happy? Because number one, he actually was receiving a living wage that he could actually live off of, right? The economy wasn't fucked like it is now. And second of all, he was serving burgers that weren't made with fucking mystery meat and fucking preservatives. Like, it's really not that hard. Like, if you're making a product that you're passionate about and you're making a good paycheck out of it, it's a no-brainer that your customers are going to be happy entering into work and produce a product that's also above average, right? But that's one of the main downfalls of a lot of companies, in my opinion. Once they franchise, that's when they start going downhill, because that's when all they see is dollar signs in their eyes. That's when all they see is just money and nothing else. They don't care about the consumer. They don't give a shit about the customer, the clientele, the people buying the product. They don't give a shit about that, because the world lives off money, and that's what people care about. And also don't think that just the CEO of McDonald's is out of touch. There are tons of people, there are tons of CEOs that are extremely out of touch with their company. Specifically, the CEO of Chipotle. Now, just a little disclaimer, don't ever work at Chipotle. It is one of the most toxic workplaces I've ever worked at. It absolutely sucks. They will overwork you to a pulp, and they do not give a shit about you. I remember my breaks were only like 30 minutes. We're only like 15 to 30 minutes. Like, I was literally nervous. I remember when I started working at Chipotle, I was nervous to ask questions, because I felt like asking questions in my job was a literal burden. That's how much working at Chipotle sucks. I remember the guy had me wash the pots and pans, right? He didn't teach me how to do it beforehand, right? It was my first time doing it, so obviously I'm going to take a while to do it. I'm sorry. And it was also the first job I'd ever had. I was 18 at the time, and it was the first job I'd ever had. And, well, guess what? I fucking didn't do it right, because the motherfucking manager didn't teach me how to do it. And guess what? He got super pissed. He was like, dude, you're about to be fired. I don't remember exactly what he said off the top of my head, because it was a while ago. But he said something along the lines of, dude, you're about to be fired. I'm just letting you know so you can mentally prepare. What? So you can mentally fucking prepare? You don't say that to your employees. That is extremely disrespectful and unprofessional. You don't say that you're about to be fired. Unless you're like doing something that's like outrageous, you should never say that to your employees. Like, I think that's just extremely disrespectful and unprofessional. But hey, what do I know? I'm not a manager of a restaurant, so what do I know? And yeah, I've also had other friends that have worked at I don't know why I was gonna say McDonald's, at Chipotle, and they all agree that it is a shit experience. It is a 0 out of 10 experience. Just don't work at Chipotle. I'm telling you, it is. The managers there will overwork you. They're also very toxic, and they just really don't give a shit about you. And you're only getting paid minimum wage. Like, it's already bad enough that you're in a toxic work environment, but to be in a toxic work environment where you're stressed and you're only getting paid minimum wage, no, it's like, fuck you. I'll get a better job elsewhere. But anyway, I'm getting off topic here. Let me direct you to a video that I came across a couple years ago of the CEO of Chipotle eating a fucking bowl from his restaurant. Let's go analyze this bowl.
Go-to Chipotle order is a chicken bowl, white rice, fajita veggies, a pico de gallo, and a little cheese.
Okay, you see how fucking small that bowl is? Oh, I just sprinkle a little cheese. Like, I've never heard someone sound so fucking gay in their life before. Okay, I actually ate at Chipotle a few days ago. Let me show you what my bowl looks like. I'm gonna put a side. Let's do a little compare and contrast. You know how like you learn that in elementary? Let's do a little compare and contrast. Let's look at my bowl. Okay, my bowl's right here. Okay, and let's look at the CEO's bowl right here. You see, which one's bigger? My bowl is bigger, right? This is like something fucking James Charles would eat, right? And this is something that like a macho man would eat, like Arnold, like Prime Arnold would be proud of eating. Okay, yes, I did order double protein. It was double chicken and I also ordered some guac on there, so it is going to be more expensive. But here's a life hack, guys. If you're gonna order some Chipotle, and I know this because I worked there, so some people may or may not know this, especially if you don't go to Chipotle all that often. Technically, okay, here's one of the things that I actually do like about Chipotle from other places like McDonald's or whatever. If you order food from them, technically ordering extra of everything is free, with the exception of 3 things. And that would be the guac, the queso, and the protein option. Everything else you can order as much as you want. So I will literally make sure that there is so much shit on my plate that it is literally like falling down, like it is a mountain. I'm making sure that bitch is a mountain and that everything is falling off the sides because I want to make sure that I get my money's worth. Because if I'm paying 17, 18, $20, over $20 in some cases, if I'm ordering, that double steak and guac, which I really like. The guac isn't even worth it sometimes. They're only putting like a tiny bit on your bowl. But I just really like guac that much. If you're paying this much, I want to make sure I get my money's worth. So yes, I'm fucking ordering double beans. I'm not ordering double rice because they already put double rice on there as the default. I'm ordering double beans. I'm ordering double cheese, double lettuce, double tomatoes. I'm ordering double everything, dude, because I want to make sure I get my money's worth. I want to make sure that I leave that restaurant feeling full as fuck. Because if you're going to scam me out of $20, I want to make sure I get my money's worth. But last but not least, we cannot talk about companies without not talking about Valve and Steam and Gabe Newell as the CEO. This is one of the only companies that I genuinely believe gives a fucking shit about its consumers. They actually care about their consumers. And there's a lot of proof to showcase that they actually care about their consumers. There's a lot of reasons why Gabe Newell is respected in the gaming community. Sure, I'm not trying to say that he is the most perfect person ever and he's never had a controversial opinion or consumer practice, but for the most part, he isn't greedy like most companies, and he actually gives a shit about his customers. Gabe Newell's core philosophy is that business success comes from obsessively focusing and listening to customers rather than chasing capital or using traditional distracting business strategies. He is literally against AI. He is literally against like all these companies that are trying to steal all your information. He is literally against that. That's why he's literally being sued, I think, by, you can look it up for more information, but I'm pretty sure he's getting sued by like the state of New York because they want to take more, they want to steal people's privacy and steal people's information, private information. And Gabe Newell's like, no, I'm not going to allow that. Those are the kinds of people that we need that support us, that support their customers. And notice how he literally calls people customers. He doesn't call them consumers. He's not like the CEO of McDonald's where he called his burger a product. No, this shows that he's not just in it for the money. Sure, he's extremely wealthy, and to a certain extent, he is motivated by money, but you can tell that he just has a genuine passion for games and the customer clientele, right? So yeah, guys, let me know what you think about these CEOs. Do you think they're good? Do you think they're bad? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.